All right, everybody, welcome to JG9 Live. It is officially here. We are 1 hour away from the release of the 2023 NFL schedule. We are one step closer to a brand new season. We're here to break it all down. We've got some leaks that have come in already. Some news that has come in already, so we'll break that down for the next hour or so. And then once the schedule drops in 1 hour, we will have that live reaction. We're going to stay on until 9 p.m. Eastern. I got to be somewhere at after 9, so we're going to stay on for the next 2 hours talking all things NFL schedule and whatever your heart desires in the chat. My name is Jared09. Thank you for tuning in. This is our NFL schedule live stream. You guys know the drill. If you've been here before, if you have any questions about anything at all, just fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. If you want to have your question move to the front of the queue, we have the donation leaderboard, but otherwise I'm just going to go in the order that I see the questions. Exciting times. This is the first real NFL stream that I've had on the channel in the 2023 season. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, what city in the U.S. could get an NFL team through relocation and or expansion? That's a tough one. I'm not sure for a while we're going to see that. Again, the only team I could see, and it's not a knock on their fans, it's not a knock on the city, it's not a knock on anything. It's just the fact that the city got screwed over with the last stadium deal, notoriously got screwed over, that Cincinnati stadium deal, once it expires, they could be gone. But that is a long ways away, and I'm just not sure that the city's going to bend over backwards like they did last time when they built Paul Brown Stadium. But if that were to happen, Austin, San Antonio, probably be my best guess, but I don't think I think we're done in the U.S. I think we're done in the U.S. for a bit. Where you can see the schedule when it drops. NFL Network, although it's going to be posted on the ESPN website, the NFL website, it's going to be posted on all those things. If the NFL draft were to return to New York, where do you see them having it? Central Park. Easily Central Park. You need that wide open space. Central Park would throw a phenomenal draft. Wouldn't shock me, honestly, if in the next 10 years the draft comes back to New York, Central Park. My guess, if that happens, 1 million people will attend. That is my guess. You put the draft back in New York at Central Park, 1 million people will attend. Week 5, you'll see a real team in action. I mean, we're playing the Chiefs week 2, apparently, so. The Times Square would be way too chaotic. Central Park would be the most logical. They did it in Grand Park for Chicago, so I could see that. Did I see the schedule leaks? I did see the schedule leaks. I did see some of the leaks, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want in terms of the schedule leaks. Again, we got 272 games, so wherever you want to take the conversation, we will take that conversation. Terrible opening game decision by the NFL with Chiefs-Lions. All right, I actually don't have a problem with Chiefs-Lions, and there's a few reasons for that in my mind. Number one, you don't want to put the best game on week 1 because people are going to watch week 1. They're going to watch the opening game. They're star for football. They're going to watch the opening game. They're going to watch the Chiefs. They're going to watch Mahomes. You don't need to put the best game on week 1. You need a good game, but you don't need the best game. So they were never going to do a game like Chiefs-Eagles week 1. They were never going to throw their eggs in that basket for week 1. You don't need to. There is no need. You might be saying, okay, they did that for Panthers-Broncos back in 2016. Yeah, but that was different because the Broncos were a completely different team because they didn't have Peyton Manning. You get an offensive shooter. Remember, the Lions were 1-6 last year. The Lions were 1-6, and then they went 8-2 over the final 10. They were playing lights out. And I guarantee you this, if the Seahawks lost week 18, we're not talking about this game being a quote-unquote bad game for week 1. We're not talking about that. If the Seahawks lost week 18, we're not talking about this. We're saying, 2 playoff teams. The Lions did their part. The Lions were as hot as any team in football over the second half of the season. You got 2 great offenses. I think that's a great game, honestly, for the first week. I really think that's a great game for the first week. Did I see the Chiefs game? The only Chiefs game at 1 o'clock is the Jaguars. That is so wrong. First off, I mean, I feel bad for the fans. Not that I can really feel bad for a team that's won that many Super Bowls lately and had that success, but 1 o'clock game feels just wrong. The other thing, of all the games, if you're going to have 1 o'clock game, why on earth would it be against the Jaguars? Why would a playoff rematch, a very good playoff rematch of that, in Florida, in September, in 100-degree swamp weather heat, be your 1 o'clock game? It makes no sense. whatsoever. I think that's a terrible decision. What city do you see hosting 2025? I think it's going to be Green Bay. Always wanted to ask you about your screen name. I know the Jaguar partner on your favorite team. Where's Gator come from? Florida Gator fan. And then 9 is my lucky number. And a lot of my favorite players wore number 9, mainly David Garrard. I wonder if they would ever have the NFL draft overseas. Probably not. Oh, we have a $2 from Ram Vandal 69. Hi, I'm definitely new here. I have a feeling I know who you are. Thank you for the 2. I have a feeling based on the fact that the logo looks very similar to mine. The fact that you're a Rams fan and an Idaho Vandal fan and you have the number. I think I know who you are. I love it. I absolutely love it. Sacramento, I think the Niners will throw a fit. I think it's not a very big media market. You wouldn't move the needle with Sacramento. All right, let's see. Yeah, city hosting the draft, Green Bay. Will they ever have the draft overseas? No. No one would attend the draft. Player-wise, it would be brutal in terms of time zone difference because the draft will then start at noon in LA. They will never have the draft overseas. If they put a team there, maybe, but they're not just going to put the draft overseas. Time to make a trip to London, JG9. You never know. You never know. Probably not going to happen. But would be nice. But there are many reasons why I probably could not do that. Oh, great, another streaming service gets an exclusive NFL game. Yeah, I hate the fact that Peacock has an exclusive game. I hate that. I get that you want NBC to have a game week 16 because they're not going to show a game Christmas Eve night. I get that. But really, Peacock? And Bills-Chargers, not just that it's a Peacock game, it's Bills-Chargers. Like, it's an actual anticipated game. Like, say what you want about the ESPN Plus paywall for one game. That was Jaguars-Broncos, Jaguars-Falcons. You have to be a sicko to watch those games. 9:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning on the Pacific Coast, so half the country's not even up yet. And it's teams that, last year no one really cared about. This year, the Jags and Falcons, relatively speaking, have small fan bases. They don't have national fan bases. Bills-Chargers is a great game. They're going to put that behind a paywall. That's, I'm not a fan. I hate the fact that it's going to be, I hate the fact that schedule shows are basically predict the win-loss record. Like, no, we're so far away. $10 from the Lim Report. Thank you so much. This is to start your funds to get JG9 to London for the Jags doubleheader later this year. Thank you so much for that. It really means a lot to me. Look, if I get enough, I will definitely make that trip. But I got a budget for a few things. And managing 3 channels at once while overseas for a week would be kind of tough. But we could get it done. It would be a lot. Let's see. Do the Jaguars play London 2 weeks in a row? Yes, they do. Week 4, they play against Atlanta as the home team. Week 5, Buffalo, they are the road team. Do you believe in the rumors and leaks? I do. Because this account that has tweeted them out is verified. This account was right last year. This account is only tweeting out good things. It's followed by actual reporters. Reporters are confirming the thing. They had the Giants-Eagles Christmas game. They called that before it was announced. They called Chiefs-Lions before it was announced. And there are some actual leaks, like the Packers schedule. That is legit. The Packers schedule was tweeted out by a reporter for The Athletic, so that is 100% legit. The Jaguars rumors, I believe, are legit. Dilla is usually pretty right on that. A few years ago, he predicted the entire schedule. Every single week, he predicted the entire one. So there are certain leaks that I believe, if they come from the NFL schedule leak account, which I'll pull up the name. Was the NFL schedule update? Yeah, NFL schedule update, nerding on NFL. If it comes from that, I believe it. If it comes from that, I absolutely 100% believe it. The NFL doesn't want the Jags in primetime. No, apparently they got 3. Apparently the Jags have 3 primetime games. Apparently they have a Sunday night game against Baltimore, a Monday night game against Cincinnati, and the weird one, I don't know why, a Thursday night game against New Orleans. I don't know why, but that could be fun. Maybe go down to New Orleans and come back. That could be fun. Have I seen the early schedule leaks? Yes, I have. And there are 272 games, so if there's anything you want to talk in particular, we can do that. Yeah, leak that Bengals game, Sunday Night Football, Week 13. That is the leak, December 4th. I am so happy about that. And yeah, fire away if you have any question, Michael. Fire away about any question. I'm so happy if the Jaguars-Bengals game is Monday Night Football. I'm so happy Week 13 because I have a wedding that Saturday, December 2nd that I'm going to. I have a wedding for one of my best friends in the whole wide world, December 2nd, that I'm going to. And I wouldn't miss the game December 3rd, but I take a really early flight to be back to my place in time. And it's just a lot of stress. It'd be a lot of stress in terms of worrying about what happens if the plane is delayed, what happens if anything like that. Monday night, I don't have a lot of stress. Do you know the schedule for Week 9? Because we have a doubleheader against the Giants at 4:25. Do you know where it will be broadcast on? I'm a bit confused because you say it's against the Giants, but you have a Giants profile picture? But let's see, Week 9, do we know the schedule? According to the spreadsheet, Week 9, you have Buffalo, Miami, you have Patriots, Cowboys, you have Jets, Chiefs, you have, if we're talking Giants, apparently Week 9 for the Giants is against Vegas. Raiders, Giants at Raiders. Yes, apparently it's Giants at Raiders. Apparently the Giants' schedule is leaked again. We'll figure out everything in 45 minutes. You'll find everything in 45 minutes, but it looks like Giants Raiders for that one. Could have been Miami, Kansas City. Miami, Kansas City would have been good. Cincy, Kansas City, you don't want to blow that too early. You want to put that later in the season with playoff implications. You absolutely want to put that later in the season. Why are the Jags playing London 2 weeks in a row? It is, I guess it's a test by the NFL. It's a test by the NFL to see if they could pull it off. Plus, I think Shah Khan's been advocating for that for a while, to play one home, one road in London. He tried to get that in 2020. But obviously COVID happened, so they played no international games. XFL title, again, we're streaming that Saturday. I have DC winning that game over Arlington. I just think their defense is so good. And USFL, that's a bit tougher, but I'll go Jersey. Where will Giants and Raiders be broadcast? Late doubleheader game, usually on CBS. Again, every game was a free agent this year, so games can be on CBS or Fox with no ties to conference affiliation whatsoever. So they have not announced the network yet. We'll know the network in a bit. Chiefs play at 1 p.m. against the Raiders on Christmas. Yeah, a bit early for Chiefs-Raiders in terms of having the game at 1 o'clock, but look, it's on Nickelodeon, so you know where I'll be. You know what the video is coming out on December 26th. I'll be working on Christmas, but it'll be a lot of fun. Round 4, I'm so down for that. Did I see Jags-Ravens leak for Sunday night? Yes, I did. I saw a leak for Sunday night. I saw a leak for Monday night with the Bengals and a leak for Thursday night. Jags-Ravens, look, Jags-Ravens last year was probably the greatest game of the season that no one saw. Jags-Ravens was a phenomenal game last year. If it's anything like that, we're in for a treat. Will the NFL stop having the Cowboys or Lions on Thanksgiving? No, never going to happen. They're so ingrained in tradition. They tried stopping the Cowboys on Thanksgiving back in the 70s, and the ratings went down. The Lions, I mean, if they didn't stop them in the mid-2000s where they were truly inept, they're never gonna stop them. It's tradition. They've earned that right. Part of what makes Thanksgiving great. Why have the Jags played on Thanksgiving? Not enough of a strong market. I'm a bit surprised they didn't play in 2018 against the Cowboys, but the Jags are the only team that never played on Thanksgiving. Jacob's home with the $2. Thank you so much. In the arduous process of moving out, love the work. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hopefully the movement is going good. I will be in your shoes in a month. I am moving out to another apartment. And by another apartment, I mean a room like a few doors down, but it has 2 bedrooms, which means I can make an office, and we can have a way more interesting background and do some really cool stuff on stream that we were not able to do before. It's going to be a lot of fun. First Nickelodeon game... Oh, I didn't even realize that. First Nickelodeon game in a stadium without a roof. That's a really good point, actually. Because part of the thing with Nickelodeon games is the effects. And if it's rainy, I don't know what the effects are going to look like. Honestly, That's a good point. I never thought of that. Yeah, that's interesting then. That's interesting. They're not going to play a Nickelodeon game in the same without a roof. A deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm not doing that. I'm just adding one bedroom. That's all I'm doing. Jags 10+ wins this season. I don't see why not. Trevor plays the way he did. I don't see why not. We're bringing back pretty much the entire team. Sacramento Kings Christmas game. If they do, it'll be a 10:30 game. It'll be 10:30. Thoughts on Eagles Chiefs Monday Night Football? Love it. Love it. That's going to be one of the most marquee Monday Night Football games of all time. First rematch on Monday night since Patriots-Packers back in 1997, which I did a video on because it's Dorsey Levens. I did a video on Dorsey Levens and his game that he had on that Monday night back in 97. I love the fact that it's Monday Night Football. It's going to feel Eagles-Chiefs, Buck and Aikman on the call. My guess is that ESPN, there are some Monday night games that look terrible this year, according to the leaks. Like Saints-Panthers is week 2. My guess is that was the concession. You've got to get some bad games, and we'll give you Eagles-Chiefs. My guess is that was the concession. Yeah, back in the Cowboys volunteered, because no one else wanted to. They were looking for a second team, and the Cowboys decided to do it. Do I still feel Trent Baalke is a bad general manager? Jury is still out. Because day 3, he has not hit on any picks. The more I look at 2021's draft class, the more I'm thinking that was Urban Meyer. 2021 was a great draft class. You got Trevor Lawrence, although I can't give anyone any credit for taking Lawrence because my grandma could have taken Trevor Lawrence. My grandma, who doesn't know anything about football, could have taken Trevor Lawrence. But you have that. You have Travis Etienne, Andre Cisco, Tyson Campbell, Walker Little. 5 phenomenal picks in the first 65. But I feel like those were Urban Meyer picks, so I need to see more with Baalke. But I'm not calling for his head, but it is it's okay. Yeah, bad games early in the year are still okay. People will still watch unless you do the Broncos where you play them every single week in primetime for 2 months, and they're terrible. The primetime schedule is awful this year. 5 Raider games in primetime. I don't get that at all. Why you're putting faith in a Josh McDaniels team, I don't know. Indy hosting a draft? Yeah, I could see it. Look, they get it up with the Super Bowl. I don't see why not. It makes sense you have the combine there. Makes sense. Follow-up question. How many Jags games do you go to each season? I like it that you're willing to make so many trips here from Henry, Arizona. Honestly, haven't been to a lot lately. I didn't go to any in 2020 because COVID. 2021 I didn't go to any besides the Rams game in LA. I drove up for that one. Last year I went to the Week 18 game and I went to the playoff game against the Chargers. But how many will go to this year? I don't know. Primetime games I'll be at. We might do one more, but it's definitely tough because there's no direct flights. There's no direct flights from Phoenix to Jacksonville, so it was a lot easier when I was living on the East Coast. I'll put it that way. A lot easier when I was living on the East Coast, living in New York, and then going to school in North Carolina. It was a lot easier to do that. Not so much anymore with the business and everything, but it's good. When they have games on the West Coast, I'm there. Love the videos. Thank you so much. You do great work on YouTube vids. Thank you so much, DJ Joe. Thank you so much. What other late doubleheader game will be for Week 9? Did they announce the times? I'm trying to see if they announced the times. I don't know. Yeah, Nickelodeon doing a cold weather broadcast. That is going to be very, very interesting to see. That is very, very interesting to see. Because the Nickelodeon broadcast, for the most part, you don't do it in the booth. You do it in like a section of the stadium. You can't really do the Nickelodeon broadcast outdoors. You can't really put Nate, Noah, and Gabby outdoors for that to call the game. There'll be too many technical difficulties, so I don't know. Yeah, Jets will be okay because number 1, big market. Number 2, Wilson was on the decline when he was joining the Broncos. Rodgers wasn't really on the decline, and Rodgers is a big name compared to Russell Wilson. So I think they'll be okay. Please do video explain how a New York kid who went to college in North Carolina and Arizona became a fan of the not so popular Jaguars. 2005, watched football, really got into football for the first time. Saw the Jaguars beat the Bengals on Sunday Night Football. Saw the Jags beat the Steelers. They showed the cutaway, bonus coverage, overtime against the Steelers. Tommy Maddox, pick 6 with Shane Mathis, and from that point on, I was sold. Who is calling the Nickelodeon broadcast? Noah Eagles now with NBC. There might still be something that Noah Eagle can call the game. because he's not going to be. He does college football for NBC. That season's done by that point. I'm waiting for the Mets Suggest video day. Yeah, that'll be. I do have a Mets video coming out tomorrow. You will get your wish with the Mets part. The other video coming out, it is a schedule-related video that someone recommended to me yesterday in stream that I had no idea about, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that one. A lot of fun we're going to have with that one. Chiefs-Jags is at 1 because the Jets-Cowboys is 425. Yeah, it's not the fact that Chiefs-Jags is at 1 that bothers me, because we've had big games at 1 o'clock before. It's the fact that it's in September, in Florida swamp weather. People are going to pass out in that stadium. 2019, when the Jags played the Chiefs week 1 in September, people were passing out in the concourses. Starting to go fund me for the Jags trip for JJ Night's trip to London. I know my Niners need a kicker, but do we need to draft one? I think that was a bad pick. I'm just realizing that I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi, so we might get a bit of buffer now. If you're seeing any buffering, my apologies. We just had to change the Wi-Fi, but we should be good to go now. I'm watching on a second monitor, and everything looks okay. So hopefully we're good. And my apologies for that. I forgot to change the Wi-Fi, things I probably should have done before I got on the stream. Now let's see the kicker. Do we need to draft one? No. Drafting a kicker in the 3rd round when you don't have any picks in the first 2 rounds was a bad move, especially because John Parker Romo of the XFL was 17 for 19, booming 50-plus yard kicks. You could have signed him for free. And you decide to spend a draft pick in the 3rd round on a kicker. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You have a kicker that's hitting 90% of his kicks in the XFL and hitting kicks from 50-plus yards out with ease. Just sign him. Pretty sure the Jags' record this season, I think 11 and 6. I think 11 and 6 seems fine. Yeah, I'll go 11 and 6. I'm a math geek, so I love your video today about the scheduling formula. Thank you so much. Can you do another video that pertains to scheduling formulas when there were 30 and 31 teams so you can explain those formulas? So a lot of the information I got with scheduling formulas came from a book that I cited in the thing. So there's a good book that has a preface that has the history of the scheduling. I want to see, do I have with me where it was for the, try to see if I have with me the scheduling formula for 30-31. I don't have that on me right now. But Jags got 1 for London. I don't buy that for a second. Look, if Shao Kahn wanted to move the team, by this point he would have. There's no reason that the Jags are moving to London when he's putting millions upon millions of dollars in Jacksonville. You want to move a team, you do it like the Oakland A's, where you put no effort into the team, you let everything crumble around you. You don't do what Shah Khan's doing. You don't build an amphitheater in the stadium. You don't build a multi-million-dollar practice facility that is state-of-the-art. You don't have plans to renovate the stadium over a 2-year basis. They're not going to London. There was a time where I was worried. I'm not gonna lie. There was a time that I was worried. Not anymore. Yeah, the Khan family tried to buy an old Wembley Stadium before. If yes, why? My guess, here's my guess on why they tried to buy Wembley. My guess, and I could be dead wrong on this, they own Fulham. I'm a Fulham fan because of that. They own Fulham. They wanted to do massive renovations on the cottage, on Craven Cottage, the Riverside Stand. My guess is while those renovations were going on, they were going to play in Wembley. That's my guess. How many games do I plan to go to this season? I want to see how the schedule works, and I want to see what the how the Jags are playing, because it's an investment. It's an investment. It's a commitment to fly across the country to go to games. So only if it means something. Yeah, I think you just go new stadium. I don't want to renovate the stadium. I want just a brand new stadium. I was in the camp of, you know what, TIAA Bank Field. It's not bad. It's a good stadium. It's a fine place to watch a football game. Good views, good seats, just need shade. And then I went to SoFi, and my worldview changed completely. Because I've been to MetLife, I've been to State Farm Stadium, I've been to a bunch of different stadiums. I'm like, you know what, TIAA Bank Field's pretty good. It's a pretty good stadium. Yeah, it's aging a bit, but it's totally fine. And then I visited SoFi. And my worldview of did the Jags need a new stadium or can we just renovate it and add shade completely changed. So yeah, I'm in the camp of let's build a new stadium. It better have a roof. It better have a roof. How's it going, Selterin? How you go? This will be the first time the Jags are road team in London. Yes, they are. Only Sunday football game for my Ravens I can expect is at or versus the Steelers. Apparently, Jaguars-Ravens is a Sunday night game. Apparently, that is a Sunday night game. I'm not a fan of pay to watch. Also, the Cardinals and Titans so far are getting the short end of the sticks for primetime games. I mean, the Cardinals are not really getting the short end of the stick. You don't know whether Kyler Murray's playing. You don't know how long he's going to be out. I want the Cards at home primetime games so I can go to it because I only go to Cardinals games if the Jags aren't playing. I don't go on Sundays if they're not playing because I want to watch all the other games. I'll go to Monday night games and Thursday night games in Arizona, but if they don't have any, I'm not going to any games this year. Cardinals are not going to get. They might get one, but they're not an attractive team. They don't have any stars really. Kyler, you don't know his status. They had a terrible offseason, all things considered. They're going to be shut out. Titans I'm a bit surprised by because the Titans, this was their first losing record since 2015. And Mike Vrabel is a heck of a coach, and I still think, despite all the flaws that the Titans have on paper, at the end of the day, they still have King Henry. At the end of the day, they are underrated. Mike Vrabel gets the most out of players. They almost beat the Jaguars last year with Josh Dobbs at quarterback, who was basically a practice squad guy. Jags-Ravens Sunday night. Apparently, from the rumor, it is Week 11. Apparently, it is Week 11. Which is going to be an interesting slate because we're going to have a month-long stretch where apparently we play the Niners Week 10, Bengals Week 13, and Ravens Week 11. That could be very, very tough. Panthers, do they need a new stadium? I believe so. I went to Panthers-Dolphins Monday Night Football 2017. I was not impressed by Bank of America Stadium. Not impressed. The concourses were dull. It was a giant slab of concrete. It's just a giant slab of concrete. I'm not a fan of Bank of America Stadium. It's a great spot. It's a great location, and I love the city of Charlotte. What teams will get a new stadium in the next decade? So Buffalo, obviously. I think Jacksonville will either get a new one or extremely renovated. It'll be one of the two. Tennessee will get one. Other than that, that's it for the AFC. NFC, I think with new ownership, Washington will get one. FedEx Field will be no more in 10 years. NFC South, I don't think Bank of America Stadium, anything's going to happen with that one. NFC North, the Bears will get one in Arlington Heights. They'll move out of Soldier. NFC West, nothing. So I say 5 teams. 5 new stadiums in the next 10 years. That's my guess. Thoughts on Raiders getting 5 primetime? If that's true, I hate it. I hate rewarding teams with primetime games just because of their market. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. What did the Raiders show last year? What did the Raiders show last year? They showed absolutely nothing. They showed that they were led by a head coach who couldn't coach. That's what they showed. You should have to earn those primetime games. You should have to earn them. See, questions are flying in again. If you want to have your question, move to the front of the queue because I'm trying to get to every single question I can get to. Let's see. I am flying. I'm hoping a rematch versus the Eagles is still legit by Week 13. Yeah, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be with the Niners based on their quarterback injury history as of late. Will Tirico and Collinsworth do the Peacock game? That's the only game NBC has. But my guess is that there's something in Tirico and Collinsworth's contract that said they can only do games on NBC. That they're not going to be behind a paywall. So my guess for that is you'll have Noah Eagle do the game. Oh no, because I just said Noah Eagle was going to do the Christmas game. Oh yeah, man. That's a good question. I actually am not sure. Tirico might. Collinsworth won't. Tirico might. Because Tirico did Thanksgiving games. He's done the double duty. He's done 2 games for NBC. And his contract was written at a time where he was NBC's number 2 guy. Collinsworth won't do it. My guess is you'll have Dungy on the call for that. You like David Carr defending his brother Derek? How bad Raiders coaching and management? Look, David Carr said some Not a huge fan of David Carr and his antics in terms of some of the stuff he says. Are they going to retire Brady's number at the Pats' home opener when he arrives there? No. No, they will not. Here's why. Obviously, Brady's number is going to get retired at some point. Obviously, that is going to happen. You are going to do that. No questions asked. No one else is wearing the number 12 jersey ever again. But they will do that for either a primetime game or they will do it for a game that they know they cannot sell tickets for. My guess is that they'll do it in a primetime game. It will not be week 1. You don't need a reason to sell tickets week 1. They're showing Jags right now on NFL Network. I'm very, very scared what they're saying. The 05 Astros lost 4 games. That was probably the best 4-game sweep in MLB history. So those were all pretty good games. Renegades in the XFL title feels like the North Stars in the 1991 season, under 500 in the championship. Yeah, it does. It feels more like, because at least you have to win your way into the Stanley Cup playoffs. It almost feels like how it used to be with the Stanley Cup, that an expansion team was guaranteed to make it. Like, they were in such a bad division. They were in such a terrible division. Will the NBA even do over Christmas with 3 NFL games? They're going to try their hardest. They're going to try their hardest. But it'll just be like last year. It'll be like last year. At least next year, there will be no Christmas games. Next year, Christmas falls on a Tuesday. They will not do any Christmas games on a Tuesday. That's at least a good thing. Big Thursday night in the NBA and NHL. Celtics and Suns could be out tonight. Yeah, I'm terrified with the Suns. Landry Shaman in the starting lineup. And Aiden out, although Aiden's been playing terribly, but it means more playing time for Biyombo, who does nothing but get in foul trouble. I'm worried. I'm very worried. I think the Nuggets win it tonight. You know, good for them. They've been a phenomenal team all season. Jokic is playing out of his mind. They play great team basketball. They play like how the Suns played in 2021. They know how to make the extra pass. Suns are kind of in shambles right now. And some serious questions have to be asked in the offseason. But I think the Nuggets take it tonight. And I'll be watching that game on my phone at the Diamondbacks game, which is why I'm leaving the stream at 9 o'clock. Late 60s Blues, early days of the NHL expansion. Why have the Titans played a lot of Christmas games? To my knowledge, they played 2, right? They played the Cowboys in 2000 and they played the Broncos in 2004. I know they played those 2. Did they play a third? Oh, no, I think they had to play a third because Titans-Chargers, right? Chris Johnson, Titans-Chargers blew them out. I think that was Christmas in 2009, I want to say. I want to say 2009. So I think they had 3. Oilers had one, yes, against the Niners in 93. I did a video on that game. Yeah. Why they had so many Christmas games? I don't know. I don't know the reason for that. Triple header Christmas Eve. Well, Christmas Eve next year is a Tuesday because it's a leap year. So it's a Tuesday. Christmas is a Wednesday. So I don't think we're seeing any games Christmas, which is good. They might do a Tuesday night game, maybe a Tuesday night game, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I mean, we know they can play Tuesdays because they did during the COVID seasons, and it worked really well. And Tuesday Night Football, they talked about that in the 70s, putting games on Tuesday nights instead of Thursday nights. They talked about that, so I did a video on that. When we go to D-backs game, I'm just going to watch the Suns. Well, I'm watching on my phone. Plus, you're outside in the ballpark. You're outside in the ballpark. I'm watching both. I mean, NBA, they got long commercial breaks. Kenny Albert's just great at whatever he does. Speaking of great at whatever he does, what a goal by the Devils at 1-0. Do I ever see Nickelodeon doing the CBS Thanksgiving game in the future? Let's say 2024. That's a good question. My guess is no, because usually Nickelodeon has programming on Thanksgiving to appeal to the kids. That's the thing. Usually Thanksgiving gatherings are large gatherings, and you might have a room. If you have a big family, you have a lot of people come over, you might have a room for the kids, and they'll have a Nickelodeon on. And that'll be kids programming, not football. What retire numbers do you think will come this year for any team? I have to see when the schedule comes out, what games. Retire numbers. I don't think the Texans will do Watt right now. The Pats won't do Brady right now. Cardinals, could they? I mean, Fitz doesn't technically retire. Will the NFL try 2 bye weeks in a season? I think they should. I think they should. The problem with the bye week system in 1993 was that it was horribly executed. It wasn't that there were 2 bye weeks that was the problem. It's the fact that you had 2 bye weeks within a month of each other. No one needs 2 bye weeks in a month. I think once they go to 20 games, not 20 games, 18 games, you'll go to 20 weeks, you'll have 2 bye weeks. That's my guess. My guy tried to meet with Grossi during the 30 Stadium store. I reached out to him. Hasn't got back yet, but we will see. But when he comes to Phoenix, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Urban Meyer, better GM than coach? I mean, he was the same guy that signed Carlos Hyde, so I don't think so. I think he just picked players that he recruited coming out of college. I think he picked players that he recruited. Like, I think now he would have been a terrible GM. But year one, he just picked the 5-star guys that he recruited coming out of college. I'm shocked Ravens haven't retired 20 and 52. They haven't retired those numbers? Really? Have they not? They haven't retired any numbers. Really? I mean, technically, Johnny Unitas, no one wears number 19 in Baltimore. That number is unofficially retired by them. I did a video on that. Yeah, sometimes the 2 bye weeks in the same month. Yeah, they had a game. They had 2 games. They had a bye week 3, and then 3 games and a bye week in week 7. It was terrible. Will Al Michaels call the Black Friday game? He said he was. He said he was. How many primetime games Aaron Rodgers is on this year? The max, 5. He'll be on 5. Remember the Ice Bowl for Cowboys at Packers? I mean, I wasn't there, but yeah, one of the most influential and important games in NFL history. Yeah. What's the first? Oh, okay. I forgot I had to. I forgot. I wrote that question. What's the first thing you look for on schedule release night? Mine is the bye week for my team. This is gonna sound crazy. I look at the preseason first. It's gonna sound crazy, but I look at what 3 teams we're playing in the preseason, because I want to play teams that will have quarterback controversies, will play their starters deep. I don't want to play teams that are just going to bench their starters. I don't want to play teams like that. Like, I don't want to play Philly. Jalen Hurts isn't playing. I want to test their defense. I don't want to play Philly in the preseason. Will Al Michaels fall asleep during a bad game? He fell asleep during Jaguars-Chargers. He fell asleep during one of the greatest playoff games ever. He's going to fall asleep. He's going to fall asleep. How far do you think the Jags will go? I think it's division or bust. Problem is that I don't think we have enough to get past KC. I don't think we have enough to get past Kansas City. Having said that, I don't see why this team can't make it to the conference championship. If Trevor plays like he did the second half of the season, I mean, there's still some major questions. The pass rush is still inconsistent. We didn't do a whole lot there. The offensive line, who knows what it's going to look like. We have to see how Calvin Ridley plays, but there's a lot to like about this team. There's a lot to like. I don't see why we can't make it on a deep playoff run. And I never say that. I just want to make that very clear. Like, there are some people that are blind homers to their team. There's some people that are super optimistic about their team every year. I am not like that. If anything, people criticize me for being too pessimistic about the Jags. If anything, people have criticized me for being way too pessimistic. This is the first time I actually am like, you know what? We can do something this year. We have the quarterback. We have the coaching staff. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. MVP candidates this year, I think you're looking at the quarterbacks. MVP is basically a quarterback award at this point. So Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, if he turns the Jets around, Burrow, Herbert, Trevor, Hurts, you're looking at those guys. I love Trevor too. I do love Trevor as well. I actually like the picture quality and production better on CBS, not necessarily a fan of Romo. Yeah, the production quality is better on CBS than Fox. Romo needs to improve tremendously. He is not prepared whatsoever anymore. He was getting by on instincts before, and he is not preparing for games. He is not knowing when to let the moment breathe. His call of the AFC Championship was quite frankly terrible. His call of the AFC Championship was absolutely awful. Such a downgrade from what he used to be. And he's got to improve tremendously because he is getting very, very lazy. My prediction for Jaguars Week 1, the leak says we're playing the Colts on the road. And we'll know for sure in 17 minutes. But we were playing the Colts Week 1 apparently on the road. Let me just check if any more schedule leaks, any more schedule updates in the last hour. More announcements that apparently were not made in the that were not made at the start of the stream. Broncos at Dolphins Week 3 apparently. Raiders at Dolphins Week 11. Dolphins at Commanders Week 13. So if you need Dolphins news, Broncos Week 3, Raiders Week 11, Commanders Week 13. That's what it's looking like. Why the Eagles fire Coach Peterson? Wentz was the problem, not him. It was just time for a change. Also, what Peterson did Week 17, benching Hurts, not telling him for Sudfeld, he lost a lot of trust from the players. Miles Sanders flat out said, I didn't know whether coach wanted to win. And once you do that, once your players doubt whether you want to win, that's the nail in the coffin. That's the nail in the coffin. Jags opening up against the Colts per store should be an easy dub if we don't... No, okay, hang on a second. I think we're going to be good this year. There is no such thing with this team as an easy dub. There is no such thing as an easy dub. We have learned that lesson. There is no such thing as an easy dub. Look, at the end of the day, we're playing the Colts Week 1. We've beaten the Colts in Indianapolis once since 2013. There is no such thing as an easy dub. We've beaten the Colts in Indy once since 2013. Last 10 years, 1 win in Indy. There is no such thing as an easy dub. You know better, too. As a Jags fan, you know better. Look, we've criticized teams for saying that Jags are easy dubs. I'm not gonna go the other way. Because there's still a lot. At the end of the day, this team was only 9-8 last year. Now, granted, we had a great second half of the season, but at the end of the day, this was a 9-8 team that laid some eggs last year. Lost some. We thought Texans was an easy dub. Look what happened there. So yeah, there's no such thing as an easy dub. The live TV feed went down to 2019 Chiefs Jags, so there was a yes. That is, I remember that. The only 7 minutes of the game that I was not able to watch in the last since 2009. I've watched every minute of every game except for that. Even the week 2, the Sunday ticket debacle with the stream. I found a stream somewhere that was showing the game. It was a pirated stream, but I found a stream. Those are the only 7 minutes. I might do a video on that at some point because that was crazy. There's a lot of stuff from recent years I gotta do a video on. Jags, Chiefs, 2019, the final 7 minutes, how no one could watch it. How often does the NFL move a game time because of warm weather? Never really. Never really. It's just weird that the Chiefs' only 1 o'clock game apparently is against the Jaguars in brutally hot weather. When the last time, 4 years ago they played, we had that debacle where it was so hot that the power went out. Hopefully your cats will do better than my cat. He got stuck behind a water heater and the fire department had to rescue him. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's okay. That stinks. Pets get in the weirdest places. Pets get in the weirdest places. My sister's dog has gotten in some places that she should not have gotten into, so I totally get that. More or less bad coaching decisions this year than last year. I would like to think less. I would like to think less. I was doing 3 dumb decision videos a week. I would like to think I'm going to be doing less than that this year. It was pretty awesome seeing you on television during the draft this year. Thank you so much. It was awesome being there. Kansas City did a heck of a job. If you could see what players and or coaches get in the Hall of Fame next year, let's see who the finalists are. I feel like I've done this before and I've had the same finalists every single time. So Julius Peppers, he'll get in first ballot. I think Antonio Gates gets in first ballot. So I think those two are going to get in. And then Jared Allen, I'll say. The logjam at receiver has to clear up. So I'll say Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne. I'll go Holt, Wayne, Freeney. Not Freeney. Holt, Wayne, Allen, Peppers, and Gates. I think those are your 5. Texans versus Titans in Nashville. Does that... Oh, I didn't see the thing. I thought you were predicting the schedule. I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen. Oh, okay, here we go. Does Texans versus Titans 2022 count? The game time was supposed to be 1 hour. Yeah, I remember that because I was watching that because that game... because the Titans lost that game, we clinched Week 18 meeting the division. So I was watching that game like crazy. I remember when that got delayed. Although that doesn't really count for weather-related reasons. Lightning doesn't count because they're going to always move games in lightning. Now, it wasn't always like that. Bengals-Bucks 1980 aside. But lightning and stuff like that doesn't count. I'm talking too hot. They've never moved the game because it was too hot. Did any NFL team have the same coach for all the 90s? Yeah, Marty Schottenheimer. Other than that, I don't think so. Think so. Chiefs have 3 Saturday night, 2 Monday night, and a Thursday night schedule. Wait, so do they not have any Thursday night games? I know you said Thursday night, but by that, do you mean that they, Yeah, Marty stepped down, 98, because Cunningham was the... So it was Cunningham and then Vermeil. Right, Cunningham was there in 99, right? Yeah, Cunningham was there in 99. And it was Vermeil in 01. So Chiefs are the closest, but... So when you say they have a Thursday night schedule, I haven't looked at that leak just yet. Do you mean that they have Chiefs Lions and that's it? They don't have any Amazon games? I'm shocked Amazon would allow for that. But let me see. Again, the spreadsheet. I'm looking at the spreadsheet. Who would win the best AAA team? Are the A's? I mean, look, the A's took 2 out of 3 from K-State, so... Now, if you're saying the AAA All-Stars versus the A's, I'd take the AAA All-Stars, but if we're taking, like, the Durham Bulls, no, I think Oakland still wins. That jump is tough. And Brandon Pfaadt was one of the best pitchers in AAA. He's getting laid up in the majors right now. All right, so let's see. Chiefs... Well, so they do have a Thursday night against Denver. That's what it would be, apparently. That's what it would be. They have Jets and Packers on Sunday night. You have Thursday night, Lions, Broncos. You have Monday night, Eagles, Patriots. You have an international game, and you have a Christmas game. You have 8 national games for the Chiefs. Half their schedule is national. Wow. I think the NBA strip writers are saving the first ever reverse sweep for the NBA Finals or a Sonics comeback. That would be nice. That would be nice. Just getting out of work now to join the live stream here. All the league rumors for week 1. It's either going to be Broncos or Raiders in Miami for the Dolphins that day. Let's see. The spreadsheet has Miami apparently playing... Apparently, this spreadsheet has them playing the Chargers. Again, we'll know in 9 minutes what it's going to be. But apparently, it's going to be Chargers on the road in week 1. The Dolphins wouldn't be at home until week 3. That's what it's looking like. Again, we'll know in 1 hour the schedule officially drops. We'll have live reactions on everything. What team of the most head coaches in the 90s? We have a $5 from C2 Man. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for donating on the last stream also. Let me see what we got. Oh, wait. I did not mean to do that. Here we go. Thank you so much. At the risk of begging for feedback, what do you think of the JG style script of the Star, the official JG9 historian? I love it. I absolutely love it. That was really well done. Really, really well done. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's see. Most head coaches of the 90s. Let's think off the top of my head. The Jets have to be up there. The Bengals have to be up there. The Bengals have to be up there with most head coaches. The Raiders also, because they went through a ton of coaches. Top of my head, most head coaches in the 90s. If I was going to guess most head coaches of the 90s, I would guess, trying to think, Jets, you had, well, Jets, you had, obviously you had, also you had Carroll, you had Kotite, you had Parcells, you had 4. I don't think 4 is enough. I would think it's the Raiders. I would think the Raiders have had the most head coaches. The Tampa, I mean, you had Sam White from 92, 95, you had Dungy from 96 to the end. The worst coach, and second worst to make an AFC championship. I mean, Bud Carson's up there. The worst coach to make it and the second worst coach to make it. I mean, the worst is probably Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan is probably the worst to make it. I mean, he was not a good coach. He was just getting by on the talent on that team. Not counting him, it's tough to go against Carson considering how bad he was in 1990. It's tough to go against Carson. I'm trying to think if there are any others off the top of my head that I could think were worse. And Pagano was not good. Pagano was not that good of a coach. I can't call him worse than Carson. Yeah, I'd probably say Carson's second worst. Yeah, Shell, White, Bugle, and Gruden. Yeah, they had 4. Yeah, so. Yeah, Pats, Russ, McPherson, Parcells, and Carroll. Yeah. How many premium streaming services are getting all those games with big sports? Yeah, we're just recreating cable. We're just recreating cable. I'm not a fan. I get it, but I'm not a fan. Yeah, Washington's interesting because obviously you had Gibbs, you had Pettibon, you had Turner, but Turner coached for a bit there, so I don't think they would have the record. Did any team have 5? Because there have been teams that had 4 that we've talked, but I'm not sure if there's a team with 5. I'm not sure there's a team that had 5 in the 90s. Don't come here to Baltimore to see a Jags game. It is a road game. It's in Jacksonville. Could another explanation of the Jags back-to-back in London is to prepare for its use as a temporary home in 25 and 26? I don't think so. Look, the thing that Lenny Curry talked about was completely pulled out of thin air. Completely pulled out of thin air. Lenny Curry has no idea what he's talking about. The whole point of the renovation is so we can play in the stadium while it's being renovated. He made that story up. The Jags are reportedly furious at Curry. The Jags are reportedly furious at him. Curry gets into random Twitter fights. Curry is not a reputable source. Maybe the mayor, he's not a smart guy. He was talking a few weeks ago about, you know what's going to save Jacksonville? You know what's going to save Jacksonville? Cryptocurrency. I am not even kidding. I am not even kidding. Cryptocurrency is going to save Jacksonville, according to Lenny Curry. I don't believe a word that he says. No one else has said anything besides Curry. The Jags have not put out anything. None of the Jags reporters have put out anything. Lenny Curry's just talking out of his butt. There is no way that, I mean, the temporary home in 25-26, the thing is that if we're going to renovate TIAA Bank Field and not play there for 2 years, why not just build a new stadium? That's what makes no sense. I would get it if he said, look, the Jags, when they build a new stadium, they're probably going to have to leave Jacksonville for 2 years, like the Vikings had to move to TCF Bank Stadium while they're building US Bank Stadium because we like the location. Why would they renovating the stadium and leaving for 2 years would be one of the dumbest things imaginable. That would be one of the dumbest business decisions of all time. That's why I don't buy it for a second. We've done stupid things before. That would be the stupidest. That would be one of the stupidest things we've done if we renovate a stadium that was, the foundation of it was built in the original Gator Bowl about a century ago. We're just going to renovate it instead of tearing it down and building a new one. It makes no sense whatsoever. That's why I don't buy it for a second. Lenny Curry is the mayor of Jacksonville. Lenny Curry is the mayor of Jacksonville. Oh, yesterday you said the NFC South should be set the Falcons had a second trip to Europe in 3 years. 2021 Falcons-Jets was a Falcons... Really? That was a Falcons home game? I thought the rule was once they went to 17 games, that the team with lesser home games would never be, the conference with lesser home games would never be the home team in London or internationally, unless it's the Jaguars. Yeah, Soldier Field was different, though, because that was a historical landmark. Now, they destroyed that thing, but that was a historical landmark. And that was 1 year. And that was, you were still playing relatively close to Chicago. You're not playing 3 hours away. And I promise you this much, TIAA Bank Field, will I be sad when it goes? Yeah. I've had a lot of memories of that stadium. It's not a historical landmark. I'll put it that way. It is not a historical landmark. Soldier Field, that's different. It's almost like if Lambeau Field needed a major renovation. So they're like, we're gonna play, in Miller Park in Milwaukee or we're gonna play Camp Randall for a year while you renovate that. Like, you can renovate stadiums like that. Not TIAA Bank Field. Just tear it down. Yeah, no, Lenny Curry, no one trusts Lenny Curry. No one trusts Lenny Curry whatsoever. He's a punching bag. I need to see Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Look, if I go to London, I will definitely see that stadium. It looks gorgeous. All right, we are 1 minute away from the schedule officially being released. Let me get a quick sip here because I've gone an hour without staying hydrated. We're going to find out what is going to happen. You're going to find... Yeah, Colts have the record. With 5. All right, here we go. Jaguar player with the best team-wise at Harry Cologne. The best player was Guy Whymper. Guy Whymper played right tackle, and Justin Smiley played right guard. You had Smiley and Whymper playing next to each other. All right, the schedule is officially out. It is 8 o'clock. Here we go. I'm going to NFL.com right now, and we are going to unveil this schedule. All right. Week 1. Okay, the leak was true. Jaguars against the Colts. Actually, let's go Jags schedule first. And then I'll probably share my screen and do that. All right. Jags website does not have their schedule out, but NFL schedule is okay. Here we go. So, week 1, Jaguars Colts. I'm gonna go Jaguars schedule. I'm gonna say the primetime games. Here we go. Week 1, opening with Lions Chiefs. Jaguars play the Colts at 1 o'clock. Cowboys Giants is your Sunday night game. Bills Jets is your Monday night game. And we'll go with specific questions after I look at the thing. Week 2, yeah, the leak was true. Vikings Eagles is your Thursday night prime video opener. Chiefs Jaguars is your week 2 game at 4:25, or at the night game is the Sunday night game is Dolphins Patriots. Oh, they're doing the Monday night doubleheader again. I hate that. We have 2 games at the same time. Okay, that makes more sense. Saints-Panthers is part of that Week 2 Monday night doubleheader. So that game's on ESPN, but the marquee game is on ABC. That is Browns-Steelers. Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say, why is Saints-Panthers a Monday night game in Week 2? That wouldn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Doubleheader that week is CBS. Jets-Cowboys is the marquee game. That's America's game of the week. I should say Week 1, the game of the week. It looks like, again, Fox and CBS each have a game of the week that week. So my guess is Fox, it's Packers-Bears. And on CBS, you're probably looking at Eagles-Patriots. Week 3, we have Giants-Niners. Giants-Niners is your Thursday night game. We have Texans at the Jaguars. So the Jags will be at home before they go to London. The 4:25 national game is Bears-Chiefs on Fox. That's an interesting game for that. Sunday night Steelers-Raiders. Another doubleheader. I hate that's twice now. I don't know why they're doing that. Eagles-Bucks and Rams-Bengals. The Super Bowl rematch, 56 rematch on ESPN. Eagles-Bucks on ABC. Week 4, we already know the Jaguars will be in London. The Thursday night game is Lions-Packers rematch at Week 18. We have your national game. Fox has it. It's Patriots against the Cowboys. Your Sunday night game is Chiefs-Jets. Your Monday night game is Seahawks against the Giants. Week 5. Thursday night, Bears-Commanders. Oh, lovely. Oh, what a lovely game for Thursday night. Oh, man, they're really putting their best up there. As if we didn't learn. But that was a Thursday night game last year. Why are they doing the same game on Thursday night? And that game was fine, but Al Michaels was falling asleep during it. And he was criticizing the quality of play. And now we're just going to do it again? Why is Bears-Commanders Week 5 on Thursday night? Oh, Al Michaels is going to be furious with that. All right, Jaguars-Bills is your London game. 1:25 national game. It is a doubleheader. It looks like Chiefs-Vikings will be the America's game of the week, although Jets play the Broncos, so we'll see. But it looks like Chiefs-Vikings. Cowboys-Niners Sunday night. Packers-Raiders Monday night. 20 years since Brett Favre lost his father and played on Monday night against the Raiders. I'm actually a bit surprised they didn't put it later in the season for that reason. But it is 20 years since that game, so that's a storyline for sure. Week 6, Broncos-Chiefs Thursday night. You have Ravens-Titans as your international game. Colts at Jaguars. So the Jaguars will play from weeks 3 through 6. No true road games. 4:25 national game. Fox has it. Eagles at Jets. And I will say this. It looks, at least for me, like the thing about every network being a free agent, every game being a free agent, was a bit overblown. Because for the most part, it looks pretty... At least for the Jaguars, I'm seeing games that make sense for CBS. I'm not seeing a whole lot of Fox games yet. Eagles-Jets is your national game, but we see games like Commanders-Falcons is CBS, Seahawks at Bengals, that's CBS. So we're seeing stuff like that, but Panthers-Dolphins is CBS, but for the most part, looks pretty consistent. Sunday Night Football, Giants-Bills. All right, Dable's return to Buffalo. Monday Night Football, Cowboys at Chargers. Week 7. Jaguars at Saints. Oh my, Week 7. Week 7. Here we go. Oh, we also have this. Flex scheduling for Monday Night Football begins Week 12. We'll talk about that in a bit. Jaguars at Saints, Thursday Night Football, Week 7. So the Jaguars will be on national TV 3 times in a 4-week stretch. You have no idea how insane that is for me to process. The Jaguars will be on national TV 3 times in a 4-week stretch. I used to pray for days like these. We never get national games. We didn't even get them in 2018. We got a Thursday night game, and we got a Sunday night game that got flexed out. We have 3 national games in a 4-week stretch. Oh, the country's going to be sick of us by that point, but I don't care. All right. Later that week, the national game, CBS. It looks like Chargers-Chiefs. Sunday Night Football, Dolphins-Eagles. Monday night is 49ers-Vikings. Week 8. Thursday night, Buccaneers-Bills. Jaguars at Steelers at 1 o'clock on CBS. Looks like national game, Bengals-Niners. Bears-Chargers is your Sunday Night Football game. Why Bears-Chargers? Really? Oh, man. Jets-Giants is a 1 o'clock game. I'm a bit surprised by that. Oh, man. Yeah, Bears-Chargers. That is not an attractive matchup. Then again, that's going up against the World Series, so maybe. Raiders-Lions in Monday Night Football. Okay. Week 9. Here we go. Titans at Steelers is your Thursday night game. Dolphins, Chiefs in Germany. Jaguars have a bye week right dab in the middle of the schedule. Let's go. Let's go. Week 9 bye. Love it. Love it. Right dab in the middle of the schedule. Right dab in the middle of it. I absolutely love it. National game. Cowboys, Eagles. Fox with a doubleheader. Bills, Bengals, Sunday night. That'll be a phenomenal game. Bit surprised that's not the Monday night game. Bit surprised ESPN didn't get that game. Almost as compensation for what happened last year. Not compensation, but almost as a way for what happened last year. They actually get that game. But it is a Sunday night football game. Chargers, Jets is Monday night. So the Chargers have back-to-back primetime games, which I'm not crazy about. It's no disrespect for the Chargers. It's that they're having back-to-back primetime games against two teams that didn't make the playoffs last year. Not crazy about that. Panthers-Bears is Thursday night on week 10. Wait, so the Bears... Wait a second. How many primetime games do the Bears have? How many primetime games do the Bears have? This is insane. The Bears did nothing last year. How many primetime games do they have? I feel like I've said their name 4 times already. They did nothing. All right, but Panthers-Bears, we have your national game is Giants-Cowboys on Fox. Jets-Raiders is Sunday night. Broncos-Bills is Monday night. So the Bills have back-to-back. Bengals-Ravens is Thursday night for Week 11. Oh, wait, I didn't even see. Week 9, I glossed over Week 10 for the Jaguars. Jaguars play against the Niners. Okay, Jaguars play the Niners Week 10. Week 11. Bengals at Ravens. Thursday Night Football. Titans-Jaguars in Jacksonville, which means that we're going to be ending the season probably in Tennessee. We're going to be ending the season on the road because we've already used up all our divisional home games. Let's see. CBS doubleheader. Jets-Bills is the marquee game. Vikings-Broncos Sunday night. Eagles-Chiefs Monday night. They're really putting a lot of Broncos games in prime time, as if we didn't learn their lesson last year. Although last year was early in the season. This year it's late. I don't know why. All right, Thanksgiving. Packers-Lions. Commanders-Cowboys. Niners-Seahawks. Black Friday game is Dolphins-Jets. Jaguars-Texans Week 12 in Houston. Your marquee game is Bills-Eagles on CBS. Ravens-Chargers. Again with the Chargers. Sunday night. Monday night is Bears-Vikings. All right, moment of truth. Week 13. Was the leak right? The leak was right. All right, so Seahawks-Cowboys, Week 13. No surprise, you always put 2 teams in Week 13 on Thursday night that played Week 12 on Thanksgiving, so Seahawks-Cowboys there. Your national game looks like Niners-Eagles, Chiefs-Packers Sunday night, and for the first time since 2011, Bengals-Jaguars. For the first time in 12 years, the Jaguars will be on Monday Night Football. Now, that game can get flexed out. Starting Week 12, they can flex out Monday night games. So it's not officially set in stone, so I have to hold off on tickets for now for flight, which kind of stinks. But I could be mistaken. I think when we played the Chargers in Monday Night Football in 2011, the last time we did, I think that was December 4th or December 5th also. Let me check. So there might be 2 a day the last time. It's at home. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, December 5th, 2011. That was the last time the Jags played on Monday Night Football. Oh, man. Oh, man. I cannot wait. Been a long time coming. Week 14. We have Patriots-Steelers as your Thursday night game. Jaguars at Browns. So you get the Ohio teams back-to-back. Your marquee game is Bills-Chiefs at 4:25 on CBS. Eagles-Cowboys Sunday night. Monday night, you have a doubleheader. Again, I hate that. But you have 2 games at the same time. Titans-Dolphins and Packers-Giants. Week 15. So let's figure out streaming-wise what I'm going to do for that. Chargers-Raiders. Thursday night. We have 5 games not yet scheduled. My guess is that you're going to have 3 games Saturday and 2 on Sunday. Those games that could be Saturday games are Falcons, Panthers, Vikings, Bengals, Bears, Browns, Broncos, Lions, Steelers, Colts. Monday night is Chiefs, Patriots, but Sunday Night Football. Oh, marquee game is Cowboys, Bills on Fox. But Sunday Night Football, for the first time since 2008, the Jaguars will be on Sunday Night Football, this time taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm looking on NFL.com. Week 16, we have a Thursday night game between the Saints and the Rams. 2 Saturday games, Bengals-Steelers and Bills-Chargers. Bengals-Steelers on NBC, so my guess is you have Tariq Collinsworth calling that. Who's calling the Peacock game? I don't know. Hopefully not Noah Eagle because I want to see him on the Nickmas game. But we have those two games. Jaguars at Bucks at 4:05. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like playing a late game on Christmas Eve. I would rather play 1 o'clock. I don't like playing 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve. But Jaguars Buccaneers on Christmas Eve. Then again, I can't really complain because we didn't play Christmas Eve last year because we played the Jets. So Jaguars can't be choosers. I'm happy with most of the schedule as it is. Cowboys Dolphins, your marquee game. Patriots Broncos is your Sunday night game on NFL Network. Christmas triple header. Raiders Chiefs, Giants Eagles, and then on ABC you have Ravens against Niners. So no NBC game on week 16. Now week 17. I haven't looked at this yet. I did predict that there will not be a Sunday Night Football game week 17 because it's New Year's Eve. If there is, it's probably going to be on NFL Network. But there is. Oh, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. I am very surprised by that. All right, so there is a Sunday night game week 17. It is Packers-Vikings. I am very surprised by that. Because I don't know what that means for the Miley special. I don't know what this means. If the game is a blowout, the ratings go down the drain. That is interesting. I really thought they were going to do a Sunday Night Football game that week. I thought they would figure something else out. But we do Jets-Browns as your Thursday night game. Lions-Cowboys on Saturday. That's taking the place of Monday Night Football. There's no Monday Night Football game because that is college football playoff for the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. So they're just going to play it on Saturday instead on ESPN and ABC. Panthers-Jaguars is your game. Your marquee game is Bengals-Chiefs. And Packers-Vikings is your Week 17 game. Final week of the season, it's all divisional games, so times are to be determined. But the Jaguars are closing the season at the Titans. All right, the whole schedule is officially out. If anyone's got any questions about anything or any reactions or any thoughts, just fire away in the chat. I will be happy to answer as I update this right now. So week 1, so the leaks were true. The leaks were true. So let's put in the Jaguars schedule. Put in what we got. Oh man, this is it's a lot to take in on the Jaguars side. There is a lot to take in on the Jaguars side. Right, okay, they put out a video. I don't care about the video yet. I'll watch all the schedule release videos later because I do like watching those. But right now, I just need the document. I just need the Jags document. All right, here we go. Oh, I didn't see preseason. I didn't see preseason schedule. I said that was the first thing, but they didn't do that. All right, but let's. Okay, here we go. Preseason. They will play at the Cowboys week 1, at the Lions week 2, at home against the Dolphins in week 3. You're not going to play the Falcons because we usually play the Falcons, but because we're playing them in the regular season, we don't. So at Cowboys, at Lions, against Dolphins. Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. That's starting quarterbacks. There's no quarterback controversy. They're not going to play Goff all the way. They're not going to play Tua week 3. They're not going to play Prescott. Oh, I hate that. We're just playing backups. We're just going against backups. We don't get to test our depth, really. We're just playing... Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But look, if to get a regular season schedule like this, I really like it. So 3 primetime games. This is crazy to me. Just put this in, and then we will be on our way. Ending the season the way we do. Tampa, Carolina, Tennessee. On paper, that's not bad. On paper, that is not bad. I don't like the fact that we play... I feel like every team should open the season at home or close the season at home, and you should get one or the other. I hate the fact that we're opening on the road and closing on the road. I don't like that. In terms of gauntlets, I don't see any brutal stretches in there. It's pretty well balanced. So, yeah. Monday Night Football moved out of the way on New Year's Day. Didn't see that coming. Oh, I did. I did because it's the college football playoff, and ESPN has the rights to the playoff. Sugar Bowl is always the night game for the playoffs, so you're not going to air Monday Night Football against the Sugar Bowl. Why would you cannibalize yourself when you don't have to? There's no reason to cannibalize yourself. We finally got a Monday night game since I was in elementary school. I was in 9th grade the last time we got a Monday night football game. I was in 9th grade. I was in 6th grade the last time we got a Sunday night football game. Now, granted, I'm not saying anything just yet because they are strategic with how they put the games. In the sense that if the Jags are flukes, they can flex out the Bengals game, they can flex out the Ravens game. Because everything past week 12 on Monday night can be flexed out, and everything past week 5 can be flexed out for Sunday night football. And they really don't see that until November. So it could be a situation like 2018 where we had the Steelers on Sunday night football, and then they flexed us out because we were terrible. So they are being very cautious with us, which I don't get how you're going to be cautious with us and then give Tennessee, or not Tennessee, Vegas. I was saying Tennessee because I had them as one primetime game and that was it, which is crazy to me. I didn't see Houston with any primetime. I didn't see Arizona with any primetime, which kind of stinks because it means I won't get to go to any Cardinals games, but we'll see. I mean, I'll go to a preseason game if they're not playing at the same time as the Jaguars. I'll go to one of their games. I guess we'll see. Yeah, because I'm just looking at the Cardinals schedule. I don't see any primetime games for them, so not surprised. Disappointed, but not surprised. What was that? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. The final road game streak. Yep. All right. Here's the streak. The Jaguars need to beat this streak. Every year since 2005, the Jaguars game, the final game of the season that the Jaguars play in the regular season, has been won by the home team. 2005, we played the Titans at home, the Jaguars won that game. 06, Chiefs on the road, Chiefs won that game. 07, we played the Texans on the road, Texans won. 08, Ravens on the road, Ravens won. 09, we played the Browns on the road, the Browns won. I'm doing this off the top of my head. 2010, Texans on the road, Texans won. 2011, Colts at home, we won. 2012, we played the 2012 was it wasn't Titans on the road. Yeah, Titans on the road 2012, and Titans won that game. 2013, Colts on the road, Colts won. 2014, Texans on the road, Texans won. 2015, you had the Texans on the road again, Texans won. 2016, you had the Colts on the road, Colts won that one at the last second. 2017, Titans on the road, Titans won that one. 2018, it was the Texans on the road, Texans won that game, Blake Bortles' final pass being an interception. 2019 was Colts at home. Colts won that, or we won that one. 2020, the final game of the season, was on the road against the Colts. Colts won that one. 2021, final game was Colts at home. We won that one. 2022, Titans at home, and we won that game. So every year since 2005, the home team has won the final game of the season that the Jags have played. Home team this year is the Titans. So we got about 2 decades worth of history we got to break. Because that game could be in the division. We got to hope that it doesn't. Now, then again, if we lose that game, hopefully it's under the assumption that we're resting our starters and taking a bye week to some extent. But man, oh man, I hate that. Hate that so much. Oh, I hate ending the season on the road for that reason. I hate that. All right, Coach is being interviewed right now on the NFL Network special. All right, let's tune in. Let's do it. I can't really do the audio because it won't come out well. Can't tell I watch your videos. How many primetime games did the Broncos get? It's where they got a lot at the start and not a lot after that. 4 primetime games for the Broncos. So the Broncos have games at Week 6 against the Chiefs on Prime. Week 10 Monday night against Buffalo. Week 11 against the Vikings on Sunday night. And week 14 week 16 Christmas Eve against the Pats, and possibly week 15 against the Lions. We will see. It depends because they'll pick 5 out of 5 games. They'll pick 2 or 3 of them to show on national TV. So that's the schedule for the Broncos. I am shocked that they didn't put them early. They put them late. They're really putting their eggs in that basket with games that can't be flexed. That's the thing. Week 10 against Buffalo can't be flexed. Week 6 can't be flexed against KC. Broncos have the Chiefs twice in 3 weeks. I hate that. I don't think that should be allowed. I don't think teams should have to play each other twice in 3 weeks. I think the Lions have that same thing. If the leaks were right, yeah, the Lions have that same thing with the Vikings week 16 and week 18. I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit. It should be you play your division opponent once in the first half of the season and once in the second half of the season. All right. Yeah, your sake is cool in Washington. Did the Niners max out? I mean, I don't even know what a max out is anymore because the Chiefs have 8 games on national TV. But I think they did. Let's see. The Niners put out their schedule, but when they put it out, they didn't. Okay, here we go. So the Niners schedule Giants on Thursday night, so that's 1. Cowboys on Sunday night, that's 2. Vikings Monday night, that's 3. Seahawks Thanksgiving night, that's 4. Ravens Christmas, that's 5. Yeah, Niners have 5. Niners have 5 games. Broncos have 0 this year, if not for Sean Payton. They probably have 1 or 2, but yeah, I think Sean Payton, they're banking on Sean Payton, which is better than banking on Russ. It's better than banking on Russ, so put it that way. Soon the NFL will play the Super Bowl the week before March Madness begins. I don't think we're going to go that late, but I think we'll see last week of February at some point. I can see that. Why the Bears have a Sunday night game week 8? Media market. But I just hate how many games they got. I hate how many games. We're banking on the Bears being good, which is bizarre. Not that they can't be good, but to bank on that, considering how bad they were last year. I mean, they had the number 1 pick. How many teams with the number 1 pick get this many primetime games? Washington Thursday night makes no sense. That's the one that baffles me. Washington on Thursday night is the one that makes no sense to me. Because you have a rematch of what happened last year in a game that Al Michaels was bored in. He was so bored that I said in that game, he made the worst comment of his career when he said that they should take an intentional safety for no reason. We're going to really put that back on Thursday night? I don't know why. But the fact that the Bears, the worst team in football last year, in an 8-week stretch, we see them 4 times. I mean, come on. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Jets and Giants usually not good about this at the same time. Yeah, usually. I mean, the turn of the decade to the 2010s was the exception. But then again, Jets and Giants usually not good at the same time. I mean, to be fair, have the Jets have not really been good lately. So, another of the Giants, although last year was pretty good for them. Many people I can imagine became Bears fans in '85 with a championship. Oh, absolutely. You also have to remember that the '80s, the mid-'80s, were really the time that the NFL began expanding into Europe with their presence being shown on TV and whatnot. So you had a lot of Bears fans, Niners fans, Dolphins fans in Europe, and if you want to know why, it's because they were big in the '80s. It's almost why you think the most popular teams in the NFL, the largest fan bases, Cowboys, Steelers, Raiders, what do those teams have in common? They were all good in the '70s when the NFL was really starting to expand its footprint nationally and become a powerhouse on TV. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. And you carry your fandom down from generation to generation. That's exactly why. That is 100% the reason why. Yes, playing Sale twice in 3 weeks. Yeah, again, I'm not crazy ever about that. Getting the Niners off the bye. Yeah. I mean, you can't win them all. I don't like that. I don't like getting the Niners off the bye. Then again, the Niners are going to be a tough out no matter what. The Niners will be a tough out no matter what. I mean, Trevor, the last time he played the Niners, granted he was a rookie, but that defense gave him fits, so. Look, the thing with the Jaguars, the thing that stands out about this schedule for the Jaguars is the first 6 weeks. The first 6 weeks. Last year, the Jags were a late starting team. They did not start the season off well. We all know that. You can't afford to have that happen this year. You can't afford to have that happen. There is no reason that you should be below 500 after 6 weeks. You tell me who I want to play week 1, I'd say the Colts. We got a perfect matchup week 1. Want to know why the Colts week 1? Because you're either playing Gardner Minshew, who we know what he's about, or you're playing Anthony Richardson, who's cold in his first game. And he'll have rookie jitters. You get the Texans early on, so you get Stroud early on while he's still not, still learning the ins and outs of the NFL. You got that. You got the Colts twice in 6 weeks, so you're not going to have Richardson, who knows the playbook and the system just yet. You'll have Minshew for both of those, or you'll have half and half with Richardson for one and Minshew for one. You'll see something like that. I could see a situation where Minshew plays terribly in one of the games in the first half. They put Richardson in for the second half, and he goes on like a touchdown drive to start off, just runs all over us, converts a few third downs, and then we figure it out. I could absolutely see that, and any Jags fan knows exactly what I'm talking about. They can see it coming. Jags were up by like 17 on the Colts going into the half. They bench Minshew after a poor first half. They put Richardson in. He gets a standing ovation from the Colts fans. Third downs, he runs all over us. It's like 3rd and 8. QB keeper. He keeps it himself. Gets the first down. We don't have a spy on him. Does it again. Scores a touchdown. They're right back in the game, and then we figure it out. I could absolutely see a situation like that. And if I were to bet money in Vegas on that happening, I would absolutely do that. I would absolutely do that. I've seen it too many times. But look, Colts twice in the first 6 weeks with a rookie quarterback or Minshew. Texans early on. Falcons in London with Desmond Ridder. I mean, you've got 4 quarterbacks that are giant question marks in the first 6 weeks. Obviously, Mahomes and Allen, those are going to be tough games. No one's denying that. But Colts twice, Texans, Falcons, the first 6 weeks. Look, if you want to, it comes down to this. You want to win the division? You want to be taken seriously? You want to be treated like a real team? You got to win those games. You got to win those games. First 8 weeks, you look at the quarterbacks the Jags face. It's Richardson / Minshew twice. It's Stroud, who's a rookie. He could be very good, but he's a rookie. Ridder, Carr, Pickett. And then obviously Mahomes and Allen. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a very good stretch at the start. And it's pretty well balanced, all things considered. There's not a stretch of back-to-back games this season where I feel like we're 0-2. Not that we won't go 0-2 in a certain stretch, but there's nothing that... Like last year, Kansas City and Baltimore, it didn't work out that way. But there was a stretch with KC and Baltimore back-to-back weeks where I was like, yeah, we got to pencil in losses those 2 weeks. There's no stretch like that this year. Now, part of that is because it's an easier schedule. Part of it is the fact that the Jags are actually good. But there's no stretch where I'm penciling in, at least right away, 5 months away. And I don't like predicting wins and losses, but there's no stretch right away that scares me on paper. The closest thing is San Fran, Tennessee, because we know what Vrabel can do. And Vrabel has given this team fits year to year. Coaches on the hot seat. Robert Saleh, if they don't win, is on the hot seat for sure in New York. No one else in the East. South, new ownership, new GM. If the Titans play poorly, Vrabel, but I don't think he deserves to be on the hot seat. I want to make that very clear. Vrabel might be on the hot seat, but he doesn't deserve to be. He is a heck of a coach. Mike Vrabel is a heck of a coach. He does not get his due. He makes tons of great decisions. He gets the most out of players that are not very talented. I think management kind of screwed him over with a lot of the decisions he's made. But he could be on the hot seat if they don't win. In the North, Stefanski. In the West, McDaniels and Staley. They got to win a playoff game. If they don't win a playoff game, he's gone. NFC East, Rivera, McCarthy, just by virtue of the Cowboys being the Cowboys, but I don't think it's going to happen. In the North, Eberflus, if they're terrible. If they're terrible, I think Eberflus is on the hot seat. In the South, you'll have Dennis Allen on the hot seat. Everyone in the South is on the hot seat besides Reich. Everyone in the South is on the hot seat. Arthur Smith, I think now that people start paying attention to the Falcons, because they have hopes and expectations from the South, people are going to look at some of the in-game management decisions that he makes, and they're going to take note and be like, wow, he really has no idea what he's doing. He kind of flew under the radar in terms of awful in-game management last year. He won't fly under the radar this year. And NFC West, if the Cards are god-awful, I mean, Gannon has not inspired any confidence so far. I don't think he's on the hot seat necessarily, but he could be one and done. They've done it before. They might do it again. if he's awful, if he's truly awful. But going in on the hot seat, no, I could see McVay resigning after the year, though. I could see McVay resigning after the year. Titans are over with. I think they missed their window. Look, as long as they got Henry playing the way that he has, as long as Vrabel's coaching that team, they're not over with. Remember, they were 7-3 last year. They had an offensive coordinator that was an idiot. As much as we want to talk about the Jaguars and their incredible turnaround, here's the bottom line. If the Titans fired Todd Downing after he got a DUI, we're not having this conversation. The Titans win 11 games next year. The Titans win 11 games that year. We're not having this talk about them over. 2 years ago, they were one interception by Tannehill away from making it to the AFC Championship. Last year, they almost made the playoffs with Josh Dobbs at quarterback. They were 7-3 before everyone on the team died on them. And they had an offensive coordinator who was an idiot. They had an offensive coordinator who had no idea what he was doing. He was brain dead. And I'm saying that. So you can imagine what Titans fans say. One of my best friends in the world is a Titans fan. Yeah, you know how many times I hear about Todd Downing? And I felt bad for him. I felt bad for him because Todd Downing was that bad. He's no longer there. Tannehill is healthy. Vrabel is still a heck of a coach. They're not done. Now, as Super Bowl contenders, maybe. I don't think they can compete with the Chiefs, Bills, and whatnot. I think in terms of making a playoff run, I think their days are done. But look, you get to the certain point in the season, trying to tackle Derrick Henry in the harsh weather, it's like trying to tackle a semi. I'm telling you, the Titans are not done as long as Vrabel is there. It's almost like with the Steelers. People say, oh, they're going to be bad this year. No, Mike Tomlin's still there. Mike Tomlin's still there. He gets the most out of some awful rosters. He went above 500 with this team. He did not have a losing record. Duck Hodges as his quarterback and Mason Rudolph. As long as Mike Vrabel is still there, the Titans are not done. The Jags are the favorite for this division, but make no mistake about it, the Titans are not done. The Titans are absolutely not done. They are as clutch as any team in football. Mike Vrabel is as clutch of a head coach as any coach in football. If they are within one possession in any game, it's more likely than not they're winning. Really, it is more likely than not that they are winning that game. It's that simple. Look, with everything that happened with the Titans, they were 7-3. Todd Downing got a DUI. They didn't fire him. If they fire him, they make the playoffs. If Tannehill doesn't get hurt, they win the division. They make the playoffs. If the referee blows the play dead, which he could have done, I'm glad he let it play through. Because it was the right thing to do. Let it play out. But he easily could have let it play. I didn't celebrate the play. I did not celebrate the play when it happened. I want to make that very clear. When I was in the stadium, everyone else was celebrating. I was not celebrating. I only celebrated and fell to my knees. I fell to my knees in the stadium. I only celebrated after the referee said the ruling on the field stands, it's a touchdown. If he blew that play dead because I thought it was a forward pass from my view, which it wasn't, it was the right call to let it go. It was clearly a fumble afterwards, but he blows that play dead. We're not in the playoffs. The Titans are in. The Titans are not done. I want to make that very clear. I have seen this story play out many times before. As long as Vrabel is there, as long as Henry is there, and he is healthy, the Titans are not done. They might play ugly football. They might play boring football, but they are not done. I just want to make that very clear. That I have great respect for the Titans and Mike Vrabel and everything they're doing in that organization. So, their time maybe as Super Bowl contenders is done, but in terms of making the playoffs, winning the division, I'll believe it when I see it. Because last year was the first time since 2015 they had a losing record. Mike Vrabel is a heck of a head coach, and as long as he's there, I am not counting my chickens before they hatch. I can promise you that. They play ugly football, boring football, slow, methodical drives, but it works. You know, as long as King Henry's playing the way that he has, it works. I will say the Titans are done if they fire Vrabel or they trade Henry. Until that happens, or they start Will Levis. Or Malik Willis. Even the Malik Willis game, that was a close game. They played the Chiefs with Malik Willis. Remember that? They played the Chiefs with Malik Willis. And That game went into overtime. The Titans took the Chiefs into overtime with Malik freaking Willis. Oh, man. Oh, man. I hate the Titans. Al Michaels looks stoked about calling Bears Panthers. And Bears Commanders, too. Because he had so much fun last time calling that game. Who's worse, 87 strike replacement players or the USFL players? 87 strike, easily. The USFL players are in shape. The 87 players were not in shape. They were out of football for years. They were literally teachers and plumbers, and literally, they were called out of regular jobs and had to play football in 2 weeks. It was very sloppy. Now, some teams look good, but for the most part, it was very sloppy. Very, very sloppy. Yeah, again, that goes back to Todd Downing being stupid. Overtime, why you're putting your faith in the hands of Malik Willis, who did nothing, I don't know why. I don't know why. Just put it in the faith of in anyone else. Literally anyone else. Go short passes, go rollouts. Don't do dropbacks in a pocket with Malik Willis. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Again, it goes back to Todd Downing not being smart. Goes back to that. I love how the Malik Willis video, I put that out after 14 throws. I said he was like historically bad based on the start. And people were like, you're jumping the gun, you're being overreactive, you're being way too harsh. I was like, look, you know it when you see it. You know it when you see it. And sure enough, they're already willing to give up on him. He might be gone after this year. Can't say I didn't see that coming. I was literally laughing at the draft when they drafted Willis. I was laughing so hard. And early predictions for most dumb decisions vids. Falcons, Arthur Smith. Again, he flew under the radar with how bad his clock management was. Because people didn't really care about the Falcons. He didn't get the hype that Jeff Saturday did, that Nathaniel Hackett did. Arthur Smith made some awful decisions. I'm telling you that. Josh McDaniels is also a pretty safe bet for dumb decisions. So I would say leaderboard, probably go McDaniels and Smith. Malik Willis might be the worst starting quarterback I've ever seen. He was bad. He is very, very bad. I was actually disappointed when the Titans beat the Texans, where the Texans beat the Titans week 16, and Willis played as bad as he did. Because I was like, I want to play Willis on Thursday night. I don't want to play Josh Dobbs. He at least knows how to throw a football. Predictions for Ritter's stats this season. 3,300 yards. I'll go 3,300 yards, 19 and 13. We'll go that. 3,300, 19, 13. Is Malik Willis Jamarcus Russell 2.0? All right, Willis is a work ethic. Willis was not a first overall pick, or a first round pick for that matter. So, not even close. No, Willis is, from all accounts, a very good guy. He just can't play quarterback. And he works hard from everything I can tell. He just can't play the position. So, very, very different. There is nothing similar about them, other than the fact they're both not very good. Yeah, Hackett with Rodgers might actually be good, as it was in Green Bay. Then again, he was not so good as our offensive coordinator, so who knows? Who knows? Have I watched any schedule release videos? Not yet. I'm going to do that after this stream. I'm going to do that tonight when I get back from the Diamondbacks game. I'm disappointed, though. You said you see the Bengals, Bears, Browns, and Texans. About to watch the Jaguar. The one you got to start with is always the Chargers. You always got to start with the Chargers, unless you're saving that for last to set the bar high. But the Chargers have consistently put out the best vids. The Zoom meeting in 2021, the anime one in 2022 was phenomenal. You got to go with that. You got to go with the Chargers first. What if will Malik Willis choose XFL or USFL in 2024? Probably XFL. Probably XFL. Odds: San Diego, St. Louis, or Oakland get teams again. St. Louis probably has the best chance. Oakland, no way. San Diego, probably not. But St. Louis probably has the best chance. Raiders drafted Megatron instead of Jamarcus Russell in 2007. If that happened, Megatron would still be Megatron, but it probably means you get Matt Ryan in 2008. Probably means you get Matt Ryan in 2008. Changes a lot. Changes a lot. Or they waste a second round pick on a quarterback. They get like Kevin Kolb in 07. All right, the NFL schedule again officially out. If anyone's got any questions, just fire away. I'll be hopping off in just a few minutes. We've been on for close to 2 hours at this point, breaking down everything with the schedule, news, and release and whatnot. So if you have any questions, fire away in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. In terms of what's coming up, we have a video on JG9 coming tomorrow, a schedule-related video that someone brought up in stream yesterday on Twitch for a live NFL trivia game. So I brought it up, and I have to do it because it's too good. It's too good of a story. We have Saturday, XFL Championship, Arlington, D.C., 8 o'clock. I will be here. We'll be live streaming the grand finale of Season 1 of XFL 3.0. Should be a ton of fun. Hopefully you join me for that one. I think we're going to do a USFL stream that Sunday also at the first one of the season. I think it's New Jersey against Philly. That game at 12 o'clock Eastern. We'll be on for that. And we have a JG7 video coming out tomorrow, a Mets-related video. A Mets-related video coming out tomorrow on JG7. And JG8 vids are coming out in a week. JG8 vids are coming out in a week. Just have to get some stuff settled out for that. No real big NFL news until July, August at least. I mean, you still have the training camp, mini camp. You have OTAs. You have all that. Stuff could come out. Stuff could absolutely come out. I'm going to see Spider-Verse. I still have to see Guardians. I'm going to see that next week. It's tough this week because I've been super busy. I've been working on the 3 channels, plus a project you're going to see more of in a few weeks that you guys are really going to like. You're really going to like it. Hall of Fame game of Jets-Browns. Jets-Browns is a Hall of Fame game. I announced that a while ago. You're really going to like it. I'll promote when it happens. You're also going to see another side project that I've been working on. Something completely different in a completely different sport. It's not me creating a 4th channel, but it's sort of, I'm helping out a 4th channel. I'll put it that way. And I'll promote it when the time comes. But some exciting stuff happening in the JG9 verse. So when they do that, we'll be good to go. I'm not saying I should say a movie. No. Mets, okay, I like when you do, yeah, it's going to be from the 80s. It's going to be from 88. It's going to be from 1988. A bizarre story from 88 that you might not know about, but then again, if you know this player and you know what he was like, you probably won't be surprised by it. Whereas if 5 home games in a bye in a span of 7 weeks. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, let me see, because I've digested some of the primetime games. I've digested the Jags schedule, obviously, but I haven't digested everything yet. So you have, we said 5 home games and a bye in 7 weeks. So let's see. They did a bad job with the schedule graphic. You can't tell if it's... Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, Chiefs, bye, Vikings, Chargers. Oh, Giants, Jets, Dolphins. Chiefs, bye, Vikings. Yeah, that is bizarre. So they're only on the road once in a span of 2 months. Good for them. They'll take advantage of that. They can take advantage of that for sure. All right, now I have to see Jaguars schedule-wise bye weeks. Who are we playing right off a bye? So I don't want to do that. All right, so let's see. Let's see, coming off a bye. So we don't have the Colts off a bye. I know we have the Niners off a bye, but is that the only one? I want to see. So I do want to look at that. Saints, we don't come off of a bye. The Steelers, are we looking at, when are the Steelers bye? When is their bye week? Their bye week is week 6. All right, so we're okay. All right, so we have the Niners off a bye. The Titans, who do we have off the Titans schedule? We do not. But the Titans off a bye. Texans, who do we have a Texans bye? Let's see. We do not play the Texans off a bye, which is good. Bengals. I wouldn't think we play the Bengals off a bye. We do not. All right, you know what? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, wait, Browns. Let's check the Browns. Do they have a late bye? No, they're both week 5. All right. You know what? That's good. That's good. You know what? I can live with that. We have the Niners off a bye, but that's it. 1 game off a bye week. They did us good. The NFL did a very good job with their schedule. We only have 1 stretch of back-to-back road games. We have pretty well balanced all the way around. We alternate home and road weeks 11 through 18. The only thing I don't like is we open and close on the road. I wish we had one of them at home. I wish we had week 18 at home for very selfish reasons, but they did a good job with their schedule. Honestly, there's nothing I can really complain about. I hate the preseason schedule. Cowboys, Lions, Dolphins. We're just going to see backup quarterbacks. I guess Dolphins might not be too bad because they have Mike White and Skylar Thompson, so we actually get to see some NFL quality. And Cooper Rush can play, but I'm not sure how long he's going to play. That's the thing. I want to see. I mean, the Lions also. You know what? Honestly, I forgot the Lions got Hooker, so we're going to see Hooker. So, we're going to see quarterbacks. You know what? I take that back. I actually take that back. We're going to have our defense go up against quarterbacks. Because the last thing I want is to go up in preseason, and we have no idea whether the depth-wise is any good because we're going up against QBs that can't throw the ball. We at least have QBs that can throw. 49ers are known for QB controversies, but never like this. Will the Packers ever play in Milwaukee again? No. No, it's now way too lucrative to play in Green Bay. There's no reason to play in Milwaukee. They don't have a stadium. You get more money in Green Bay. It's just too much hassle. There's no reason. They needed Milwaukee back then. They don't need Milwaukee anymore. Do I see Hurts having 4,000 and 1,000 this season? 4,000, 1,000 season is tough, but if anyone can do it, it's Hurts. If anyone can do it, it's Hurts. Throwing for 5,000 yards. Burrow, Mahomes. I'll go Allen. And, oh man, this is... Screw it, Trevor. We'll go 4. Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, and Trevor. I think adding Calvin Ridley as a deep threat is going to help tremendously. I think he can do it. See, on Jaguars schedule, you see on your screen just announced at the Colts to open up. Kansas City, week 1. Oh, I didn't even check TV-wise. What TV channels are the Jaguars playing on? I didn't even check that. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Team by team schedule. Let's see. I want to see TV network, what we're dealing with. Okay, oh, here we go. All right, so the Colts game is on Fox. So 2 of the first 3 are on Fox, and that's Colts-Texans. Niners is on Fox. But that was always going to be Fox. All right, so we have 3 Fox games, which is not bad. Because, again, we play 3 NFC teams at home, so you figure 3 Fox games. It's not the games I expected, but 3 Fox games. I can live with that. The problem is that Jaguars, Colts, Jaguars, Texans, we're getting the bottom of the barrel on the Fox schedule. I don't like that part. If we're going to get Fox, I want games with Kugler and Sanchez or Olsen and Burkhardt. The bottom of the barrel team on Fox. Oh, man. I don't want Schlereth. We're going to get Schlereth, aren't we? We're going to get Schlereth. 93 or 05 Suns, 93. 93. What major players could get cut this preseason that are surprises? If the situation gets bad in New York, like very, very bad, I could see them just cutting their ties with Zach Wilson. If it gets to that point. I don't think it will, but if it does. Will Matt Ryan announce his retirement soon? He should. He's got no arm left. He's a corpse at this point. Why the Grizzlies moved to Memphis instead of Nashville? Good question. I think they, my guess is Memphis didn't have any teams, and Nashville, you're worried about oversaturation. You just added hockey, you just added football. Can you host a 3rd team? At least, I mean, now we know they can, but that's my guess. The new broadcast rule is going to mess everyone's algorithm up. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, every game's a free agent now. Lamar said he's throwing for over 6,000 this year. That's never happened. He's not throwing for 6,000. First off, the record is 5,500. He's not breaking the record by 500 yards. Number two, the guys that break those records and throw for those amount of numbers, they don't run the ball. They get their yardage by throwing. Lamar runs. And he's got to stay healthy, too. If we were to get Spiro, that is true. That is true. Spiro's not good, but, Greg Gumbel's not there anymore, so I don't know who is going to be the next announcer to take over for Gumbel. Hopefully they keep the Catalan-Lofton pairing. It's not Spiro that's the problem. I mean, Spiro's not that good. But it's Jay Feely that's the problem. He gives him nothing to work with. I thought Spiro and Adam were actually finding their stride together. And then they stupidly move Archuleta up with Gumbel. They had no chemistry. Spiro and Jay has no idea what he's doing. Yeah, Fox announcer teams can be horrible the lower you get on their window cards. Yeah, that's why I'm worried. I'm so excited. Jonathan Vilma, 2 times in 3 weeks. I'm so excited for that. Said no one ever. No, Gus isn't going to call NFL. Gus is going to do college football slate. He'll get the big noon kickoff. So I don't think it's happening. The whole every game is afraid of is obvious when looking at the Bucs schedule. Oh, I haven't even seen. Okay, let's see the Bucs schedule. Let's see what we got. How many games do not belong? Okay, at Vikings, that's CBS. Okay, that's one. At Houston is CBS. That doesn't belong. That's 2. At Indy is CBS. That's 3. That doesn't belong. Carolina is CBS. That's 4. Atlanta is CBS. That's 5. Yeah, 5 games that would not be there. 5 games that would not be there. Well, if an NFL draftee pulled in Eric Linder is getting drafted first of all, refusing to play. I mean, it's happened before. Eli Manning, John Elway, it's happened. Bo Jackson, it's happened. Yeah, Gumbel's still doing March Madness Studio. He's just not doing games. He's not calling games on play-by-play. Oh no, look, there are certain guys that are great for certain sports, just not for others. Like I think Tom McCarthy, baseball, people like him. People like McCarthy for baseball. Football, I think, is awful. I think Tom McCarthy calling a football game is terrible. Also, like Greg Gumbel in the studio for March Madness, I thought it was fine. Calling NFL games is a different story. Yeah, Spiro on NBA is a different story. Again, I don't think it's Spiro's fault. I mean, Spiro's not the best, but he's improved. I think it's Jay Feely that's dragging him down. Because Jay Feely is terrible. Mike Goldberg calling Jags and Colts week 1. Oh, yes. I would love that. Haven't looked at the Steelers' schedule yet outside the Jaguars game. Let's see. Yeah, I think it really is just Jay Feely bringing him down. Because Jay Feely, no one can work with Jay Feely. He's terrible. He's terrible. He offers no analysis, no insight. He's just not good. All right, so the Steelers' schedule is the start of the season, Browns, Raiders, Texans, 3 of the first 4 weeks. That's pretty doable. That is pretty doable. A tough ending, though. Tough ending. Bengals, Seahawks on the road, Ravens on the road. Last 2 games on the road. You got to be in a good spot going into the final 3 weeks. But you know what? It's pretty well balanced. There's no reason they can't be 500 after 4. There's no reason why they can't be above 500 going into the bye. There's no reason for that. Do you like the idea of 2 weeks in London and then not having the bye week 6? I like not having the bye week 6. I'm not crazy about 2 week. I like having 2 weeks in London. I like not having the bye week 6. I'm not crazy about not taking the bye, if that makes sense. Because when we don't take the bye, it's happened twice. It was last year we played the Chiefs right after. We lost that game. We played in 2017 the Jets, and we lost that game. So we have not won a game without a bye coming off of London. And usually not taking the bye might not be a problem because you don't have to really get readjusted back to American time because you stay on American time anyways. It's just a bit weird, but you stay on American time for the most part because you fly in Friday. But the fact that we're going to have to stay in London for a whole week, we're going to be adjusted to London time, it might be tough. It might be tough coming back, adjusting, and then readjusting from that to a 3-week schedule because then we have Thursday night, or 3-day schedule because then we have Thursday night football against the Saints. So that could be tough. 2 London games, no bye week, readjust with a normal week in America, and then readjust to a short week where we play the Saints on the road. That'll be tough. Who gets the 18 minors on CBS when Nance quits? Based on how they treated college basketball, it's going to be Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle will be number 1. Yeah, I don't know who's taking over for Gumbel. They have not announced who's taking over for Gumbel. Hopefully it's not McCarthy. Hopefully it's not Beth Mowins. They have not announced who the replacement is for Gumbel. But hopefully they find some new blood. So I see MGM Grand hosting the honors. It will be some hotel. It will be some ballroom, some convention center of some kind. There are 10,000 options in Vegas. You can pick anyone. Noah Eagle called Vikings Colts with Nate Burleson. They were good on the call. I wanted to see them do a broadcast that wasn't Nickelodeon, where they could not be themselves, but talk football and like give actual insight and whatnot. Not they don't give insight on the Nickelodeon broadcast, but it's a very different feel. They did a good job. They have built-in chemistry. I'm telling you, that's a phenomenal team. Obviously, you can't do it now because Noah Eagle's going to be on NBC. He's going to be doing the Saturday night games on NBC. But I would have loved it if you took Nate out of the NFL Today and had him do the games with Noah and make that a team now that Gumbel's gone. Take Feely out, reunite Spiro and Archuleta, and do Eagle and Burleson. I would have loved that. No, Nance will never quit golf. Golf is the one sport he loves more than anything else. He didn't do the NFL 1 week because he was calling the Masters. He will call golf until the day he dies. He will call golf until the day he dies. Now, I'm not a fan of Beth Mowins. It's she doesn't offer a ton of insight, play-by-play-wise. Also, she called the game. She did the Jaguars-Vikings game with Jay Feely. It was the worst called game I've ever seen for the Jaguars in my life. They had no idea what the rules were. They had no idea what was going on. It was the worst production I've seen. Jags-Vikings 2020 was the worst called Jaguars game I've ever seen in my life. And that includes Al Michaels falling asleep. That includes that game. And that includes the 10,000 other games we've had. It's just, she didn't seem prepared. She was not prepared for the Jags-Vikings game. And that's the one thing you can't be. You have to be prepared and do your homework. If it seems like you have no idea what you're talking about, and that's what Beth and Jay were doing. They were just stepping on each other. They had no chemistry. It was a painful broadcast to listen to. Then Jay Feely's terrible. But it just didn't work out. Worst active NFL color commentary? I'd probably say Jay Feely. Although Mark Schlereth, no, never mind. Mark Schlereth is pretty bad. At least Jay Feely, he doesn't offer anything, but he's not abrasive in his opinions and not dead wrong on stuff and is so confident and arguing, complaining through the TV screen. At least Jay Feely doesn't do that. I would say Mark Schlereth is probably the worst. Wonder why Jason Witten didn't get back into broadcasting. That'll be a fun video to do in a few years. The fall of Jason Witten. I still got to do a Dennis Miller documentary, but a Jason Witten one will be coming very soon. When will Anthony Richardson start for the Colts? Here's my guess. I know Jags history too well. They'll start Minshew week 1. The first half, the Jags will be up by 17 points. Minshew will look terrible. He'll take 3 sacks or so in the first half. He'll underthrow a deep ball. The fans will boo him. It will be terrible. Anthony Richardson then comes into the game. The Jags get the ball to start the first half, so the Colts get to start the second half. He comes into the game, standing ovation, given by the Colts fans. First drive, touchdown. He leads a few third down conversions where he takes off and runs, and we don't see it coming. And week 2, he's a starter. That's my guess. Anyone who's a Jags fan has seen that play out 10,000 times. I like to keep Talib. Fox should have kept him. Did you hear what happened to Aqib Talib? You couldn't keep him. I'm not going to deny. I love the chemistry that Gus and Aqib had. Aqib with other guys was terrible. With Gus, I like the chemistry. But did you see what Aqib Talib did? Did you see that? You couldn't keep Aqib Talib. He kind of was involved in a shooting, and was sued over that, and killed the guy at a youth football game. You couldn't really keep Aqib Talib after that. You couldn't really do that. There's some guys you can go to bat for. Aqib Talib is not one of them. Can I imitate any announcers? Here's my Al Michaels doing the Jaguars starters game. That's a pretty good imitation. All right, with that, I got to call it there because I'm going to the Diamondbacks game, so I got to leave right now because it's going to be a mess downtown because the Suns are playing at the same time, so it's going to be absolutely nuts. So, yeah, Chris Myers is the worst play-by-play guy out there. Chris Myers is the worst play-by-play guy. The worst color guy is Schlereth, but the worst play-by-play guy is Myers. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a fun stream. Thank you guys for talking schedule with me. This was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys Saturday for the XFL Championship stream at 8 o'clock Eastern. I'll see you guys tomorrow as we unveil a new JG9 video and a new JG7 video. Should be a fun game. XFL-wise, should be some good videos coming out. And hopefully my Arizona